And good morning, everybody. My name is David Lynch. I'm the city manager for the city of Newton Falls, Ohio, and welcome to another morning briefings regarding the coronavirus here in Newton Falls. As I say every morning, we want to give you a little bit of the local touch in terms of what's happening, the way we're dealing with the COVID-19. Pay attention to the governor's report. You know, every afternoon at 2 o'clock, the governor has a press conference, and Dr. Amy Acton, who really is our leader in terms of figuring out what the rules are in terms of health and things of that nature, as directed by the Director of Health for the entire state of Ohio, Amy Acton. And in just a moment, we're going to speak to our first guest, but I want to remind everybody that this is graduation year, of course, 2020. It's graduation season for our seniors at Newton Falls High School, and of course, they can't have a live graduation. So the high school did something pretty special last night. The lights of the football stadium were lit up bright. You can see it in that photograph right there. And they were left on for about a half an hour last night in order that people should be reminded this is the season of graduation for an outstanding class, the class of 2020. Congratulations, Newton Falls High School seniors. Well, as we deal with the COVID-19, obviously our health is paramount. Probably there have been no more frequent conversations about health than there have been this year in the media, even at our kitchen tables. And right now I'd like to bring on the live line Dr. Ian Souzelis, who is the head of the University Hospital's Newton Falls Family Practice right there at Canal and Broad Street in Newton Falls. Good morning, Dr. Ian. How are you?
I'm doing well, Dave. Good morning.
Well, thanks for being on. Basically, I just wanted to find out how has your practice changed and what kind of things you're dealing with over the last several weeks, obviously.
The practice has changed significantly. I think this is for all family physicians or outpatient practices, I should say. We've moved to doing mostly virtual visits, whether it be through the computer, different platforms that way where we can actually do audio and visual types of visits, or we're doing telephone visits. And at university hospitals, they're encouraging us to see 70% of our patients that way, if not even 100% of them. So it has definitely changed how we see patients. And as we've gone through that, I've definitely realized also how many of our different senses we use whenever we're actually with a patient. So it does make it a little bit more challenging in trying to figure out exactly what's going on.
Yeah, I'm sure that it does. What's your assessment of the health of our community right now as it relates to COVID-19? Do you get up every morning with a sense of confidence, or are you still filled with apprehension?
You know what? I feel more of a sense of confidence. I know that the goal of trying to flatten the curve was to not overwhelm our hospitals. And at this point in time, I know that there are some areas that have been a little bit more overwhelmed, but I think that in our general area, we've done very well. I know at University Hospital Portage Medical Center, the curve has been flattened. I think that we are going to see a decrease in cases and that we're going to be improving as a community in the whole here shortly.
Sure. Dr. Ian, I want to get very practical just for a moment. The average family watching the Newton Falls briefing update right now, if they had a chance to hear just a couple moments of words from you as to what they should be doing on a daily or regular basis in their own families in order to stay safe and healthy.
Yeah, the biggest thing would be to monitor yourself as far as for symptoms. The different things that we want to make sure of is that if you're having different symptoms like fever, cough, shortness of breath, chills, muscle aches, pains, headaches, sore throats, that you get a hold of your doctor. These symptoms, they can appear 2 to 14 days after you get exposed, so that's when you would want to contact your physician. If you are having any problems with trouble breathing, persistent pain or pressure in your chest, confusion, or if you're noticing a family member is having confusion, those are times that you need to call 911. But taking care of yourselves, make sure that you are eating right. Make sure that you get a chance to get out and exercise. Make sure that you're drinking plenty of water. These are all going to be very important. And also, it's so important to contact other people and talk with them over the phone or through different other platforms on your computer. At this point in time, we need to continue to encourage each other.
Dr. Ian, I'm going to ask you to weigh in on the great mask controversy. If you look at media and health department reports over the last several weeks, there appears to be somewhat of a roller coaster ride in terms of, are masks a good idea, when are masks not a good idea? And I don't mean for first responders and hospital workers, but for average people that are just going out to the grocery store to get a loaf of bread. What's your view of the mask situation?
Yeah, I know that there has been a lot of controversy with that. I think the biggest recommendations are that people who are sick or are having any symptoms should be wearing masks to help try to decrease the spread of any droplets that may be carrying the virus. As far as protection for yourself and wearing the masks, it's still controversial as to whether it will protect you completely. But at this point in time, I don't think that it will actually worsen your symptoms of getting it. So I think that wearing a mask is beneficial.
Well, what we've been saying on this program over the last week or so is that if you go to a retail establishment and you've got a mask, put it on, or if you're going to a retail establishment and can find a way to get a mask, it's good to wear while you're out and about. Is that a fair way to express it to our own citizens?
I would say that would be very true.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of retail establishments take different viewpoints, but I spoke a few weeks ago to Dr. Irvin over in your office, and she had explained to me something about the fact that the virus can be spread through microscopic droplets that emit from your nose or from your mouth. Is that the reason why the masking is so important?
Yes, it is. It's even they found that conversation gives a chance for those droplets to kind of spread out. So it acts as a barrier to catch anything that's coming through.
All right. Well, Dr. Suzelis, thank you so much. Before we adjourn our little conference with you today, how's this affected your family personally?
You know, we have several small business owners in our family in town. And economically, it has affected our family in that respect. I know that my mom and dad, they have the Healthy Treasures and then also the bistro. They had to shut down the bistro. But that's the way it's affected our family. As far as illness, I have had one friend that actually my best friend from medical school. He's in New Jersey, and he ended up getting coronavirus and was in the hospital for over a week. So that's it. But he's recovered, and he's doing very well now.
Oh, that's great. Well, listen, thank you to you, the whole Suzelis family. The Suzelises have been a real staple in our community, in our entire community for many, many years. And we appreciate the frontline folks that are dealing with this. That means people in the medical field. I mean, I'm sure it'd be pretty easy for you just to say, I'm taking a sabbatical while this goes on. But in the meantime, you and your entire staff are out there trying to help folks. So thank you so much for your service, Dr. Suzelis.
Thank you, Dave.
All right. Well, thanks again. Have a great day and health to your family. And that was Dr. Ian Suzelis, and it's great to hear the information that he had to present to us this morning. The Suzelis family has been an integral part of Newton Falls for many, many years, and of course, I'm sure will be for years to come again. And want you to be reminded that the family clinic, University Falls Family Clinic, that is Newton Falls Family Clinic, is right there on Canal and Broad Street. And Tom, I think we have the phone number up there before. If you can put that up there one more time, 330-235-7445. Well, we are going to switch directions as we frequently do on this program. And we are going to get ourselves in touch with someone who can really relate to what's been going on here in Newton Falls. And I say that because what we're trying to do is, in this instance, get somebody on the line who's really felt the economic pinch. We've had all these people that are getting their paychecks during the coronavirus. Well, here's somebody who's not. Good morning.
Hello.
Yes, hi, is this Brenda?
Yes, it is.
Great. Ladies and gentlemen, on the live line is Brenda McKimmey, who operates Brenda's Salon, the shop, right there on Milton. And she's a hairdresser, folks. And I thought it was important for us to get the perspective of somebody who's really being financially impacted by this shelter in. We've had a lot of government representatives on the line with us, and they continue to get their paychecks. But not so if you're operating a hair salon. Brenda McKimmey, how are you surviving the coronavirus since you're not allowed to operate?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you for having me on there, and I'm so proud to be part of Newton Falls. I can't say enough since I've been there back in 2001, I made the decision to come there from Howland, and I've been doing hair over 34 years, and I'm used to doing hair all day long. And this has really been devastating to go from, to zero income. I am blessed because I do have other paychecks in my house. But I talked to all of my girls. There's like 15 of us that make up my salon. And a lot of them, it's been devastating also with them. It has affected me because I still have to pay rent for my building and all the overhead. And I can't say enough about like the utility offices in Newton Falls are amazing. The people that work there, they work with you. They're great. And there are not loans available. I have applied, but the funds aren't there. So we're waiting for more funds. I've received emails on that. And I worry about keeping my girls, my staff. They're amazing, great group. They love Newton Falls. Some of them have moved far away, Akron, Sandusky, Alliance, and they would still drive to do their clientele in Newton Falls. So that says a lot for the town and for, my shop. I'm proud of it. I decided not to charge my girls rent. I had a younger girl. She is single. She ended up moving with her significant other. She had to leave the state. I have another one that got another job. You have to make these decisions. So as long as I can carry it and, I'm blessed, God is good to me, I'm going to carry that. I've talked to other people, my heart goes out to everyone that owns a salon or is a stylist. Some people, they're giving their girls 6 weeks. But I know my girls aren't making any money. We make no money, and the unemployment is not there for us yet.
One of the things that I noticed is that the government's talking a lot about unemployment, but my understanding, if you're a hairdresser and these young ladies that are manning the different chairs in your salon, the Unemployment Bureau hasn't been too responsive, have they?
No, they have not. And I've had some of my girls apply, and they send the paperwork to me. And I talked to someone at Job and Family Services. So I would tell all the girls that are stylists or salon owners, you have to wait. This is not up yet. So when you apply for the one that's out there, you're not going to receive it. But they say Ohio is a little bit behind, but it'll be retroactive. So that's good to know. One of the hardest things also for me, and I know for everybody, you become such family with your client. And a lot of my clientele are elderly people, and they followed me from Howland and all over, and they love Newton Falls. They would come and get their hair done on Fridays, go to the store, go to the bank. You have all your selections of banks there, so they could go there. And now they can't go anywhere. And a lot of these women can't do their hair. And we miss them, and they're getting depressed, and they're contacting me. We also came up with, I know you had something on your show about someone saying that they were not following the orders and still doing hair. Well, we have followed that, and it's very hard. Let me tell you, after knowing what's going on, and people are coloring their own hair and cutting their own hair, and I see all this on Facebook, the crazy lady that said this is desperate times, call for desperate measures, and just chopped her hair all up. It was awful. And you want to help these people because we are in the service industry and we can't do it. And that's been very hard mentally. All of my girls say that financially and mentally, this has been a hard thing.
Well, Brenda, one of the things I noticed, my mother-in-law gets her hair done every Friday. She's 95 years old.
Yes.
And the hairstylist isn't just part of her weekly ritual, which is difficult for a senior to have interrupted, but the hairstylist to some extent, is weekly therapist. I mean, you talk to your clients, and
Absolutely.
they are members of your family, aren't they?
Yes, they are, and this has been very hard. My children have grown up. They give them birthday gifts. They send Easter gifts. I mean, it's amazing how this relationship that you get. And this is another thing, the social distancing. You know, all my girls and anybody that knows me, I always say, you know, you have people. I'm a hugger. I always say better to be a hugger than a mugger, and that is killing me. Even at home, my family here, they don't hug enough, and I think everybody needs that. And some of these elderly people, and even other people that live alone, whatever, they look forward to that. I would have a man. That's another thing that I want to thank Newton Falls for. The busing, how they would come up for the elderly and bring our clients to us.
Sure.
And there would be a man that would come to one of my girls, and he'd say, "Okay, I'm here for my hug." He said, "That's the only hug I get, so I'd have to give him two." And that's very hard. You know, that's hard too. And I had a client pass away with the coronavirus.
Oh, boy.
And I've done his hair, since I was in Howland. And the family, it's devastating. Him and his wife have been married 32 years. And he's completely gray, and he'd always joke and say, you know, "Come on, Brenda, cut all the gray out."
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm going to miss him. And that was really scary.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think it's brought a new appreciation for life. One of my girls told me she's never prayed so much in her life. She gets down on her knees. And a lot of us, maybe clients, sometimes, you know, they're demanding, and you think, oh, you know, am I in the right field? Let me tell you, my girls are missing this. They have a new appreciation for life, their job. So do I. I miss everyone, and we want to get back to this.
Yeah, well, I want to talk about that for
I
just a minute, Brenda. The governor's talking about opening up towards the beginning of the month, and it'll probably be with some restrictions. What I'm hoping is he allows you to open up and just have the clients and the hairstylists wear masks, have the hairstylists wear rubber gloves, and I'm hoping that's something that can be maybe part of phase one. And so we're hoping, and we want folks to go to your place because you've got a lot of time to make up. Tom, let's put the phone number up for the salon, 330-872-7000. Folks, put that number in your phone so you can speed dial that number and get Brenda's salon once things start opening up again. 330-872-7000, because these folks are the first responders for our hair disasters, and we want to get back with our friends again. Brenda, thanks so much, and best of luck to you.
Thank you, and God bless you, and you take care and stay safe. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. That was Brenda McKimmey of Brenda's Salon, right there on Milton Boulevard, somewhere across from the Family Dollar Store on Milton. And folks, that's such a reminder. These are real events, putting stress on real families. And, you know, some people receive their regular check through unemployment or Social Security, or they're a government employee, or they're some kind of essential employee, and they forget there are real people being hurt in real ways. And as I always remind folks of this program, let's be in prayer for all of these folks and all of their families. There's a lot of stress and difficulty that comes along with this. And hopefully as we begin to phase back to a more normal life, we can ameliorate some of these difficulties. Well, in times of difficulty, it's important to maintain a sense of humor. That means we don't have to take ourselves so seriously that we forget. Laughter is a balm for the wounded heart. That's one of the reasons why I was thinking about the fact that if you've ever been to the eulogy during a funeral, and all of us have, that frequently the person delivering the eulogy brings up events of humor in the life of the deceased, because in difficult moments, it's time to pause, to laugh and be human and be in touch with God in a sense. So in that interest, we've seen a big mystery that's cropped up here in Newton Falls, and that's been the mystery of who is the real Art Jones. And I was so gratified that recently the folks that run a very famous game show decided to do something that brought this all into to focus.
Famous scandals is the category, and here's the clue. This conspiracy theory is considered the most ridiculous theory in modern times. It helps a lot if you know some of the culture and inhabitants of Newton Falls, Ohio. We will start with you, Ken. You had $6,600 and you wrote down, what is Who Shot JR? No, that's not correct, and it's going to cost you $6,000, and you dropped to $600. And that takes us to Steve. Will he come up with the correct answer? Steve wrote, what is faked moon landings? No, sorry, that is not correct. And Steve wagered a big $15,400. You wind up in second place. Let's check Mark's answer. Who is Art Jones? Yes, that's the answer we were looking for. Mark will add $7,500 to his total, and will also give Mark the win for today's show. This conspiracy theory is considered the most ridiculous theory in modern times. Mark has a two-day total of $59,499. Good game. Strange finish, gotta pay attention. We'll see you all on Monday. Have a good weekend.
Yes, folks, even Alex Trebek is fascinated by the ridiculous mystery of who is Art Jones. Well, folks, that brings us to the close of another one of our morning briefings. Remember, when you're at the store and you're out and about, wear your mask. And when you're at home or in any location whatsoever, pause for a moment and ask our Heavenly Father to continue to protect Newton Falls and protect our entire community as we begin moving towards the phasing in of getting back to a little bit more normal life. And as I say at the conclusion of every one of these briefings, God bless America and God bless the city of Newton Falls.